Welcome back to Clean with Kate. It's Sunday and I'm having a nice chilled sort of a day. I'm really focusing mainly on the garden and the sheds, but I've decided to pop into the conservatory as it's looking a little depleted. I think it needs a little bit of TLC. So if you'd like to join me, I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes. It is quite hot in here, so I don't know how long I'll last, but let's just start with 5 minutes. Oh, don't think the timer's starting. Oh no, have I broken my timer? Yay, it's going. I think that's one of my older timers. So I'm just going to get my gardening gloves on. I always wear gloves when I'm deadheading, because I have in the past when I haven't, ooh, there's a bird outside. When I haven't put my gloves on in the past, I've cut myself. And I think this definitely reduces the risk of cutting yourself. The other advantage I've realised to wearing gardening gloves is it reduces the solar damage to your hands. Because I've come to realise recently, I was watching a YouTube video as it happens. And it was a dermatologist talking about how we remember to put sunscreen on our faces, we remember to put sunscreen on our necks, but we quite often forget our hands, and how if you look at celebrities on television, quite often their hands look older than their faces because everybody forgets about their hands. And I thought, golly, that's so true. I'm the same. I put sunscreen on my face, I put sunscreen on my neck and my chest and my sort of, top of my chest if I'm wearing something, lower, but I never, ever put sunscreen on my hands. And as I spend so much time outside, I thought this is quite important. But then I realised that fortunately, when I am outside gardening, then I always wear out gardening gloves, which does help to protect your hands from the sun. Oh, golly, I've had a bit of an accident here. Because these this is a bit dramatic. Sorry, I don't know if you've just been watching my feet, but anyway, the plants, because they've dried out, some of the plants have actually fallen over. This one is in far too small a pot. So the problem is they've actually fallen off the stand. God, it is hot in here. I don't know if I will last very long. Oh, goodness, I don't normally do this in the day, but I was just passing the door and I thought it would really benefit. So, I'm just going to see if I can rescue these poor plants. A lot of these plants could definitely do with going into larger pots. In fact, I think I'm going to cut that one back, because you can see the plant is too big for the pot. So I've just given that a trim. And there's a trailing plant here. I think this is one of the succulents. Let's pop that over there. Right, I think some of my tomato plants now have had it. I've got the last of my tomatoes off them. But actually, I'm just going to focus on deadheading the geraniums for now. I may deal with the tomato plants, because if I got some of the tomato plants out, then that would reduce the pressure on the shelves. But golly, is it hot in here. Anyway, what was I saying? I was talking about sunscreen. So if you're a gardener, it's worth always wearing gardening gloves for that reason, as well as protecting your hands from thorns and cutting yourself. It does reduce the risk, I think. Oh, I must concentrate what I'm doing, because these are so sharp, these snips. I have cut myself with them in the past and it's not pleasant. So I'll just take my time, I think, with the cutting. Okay, so I'm just going around deadheading. By deadheading the geraniums, it just keeps them flowering for longer. So let's see, I've got one up there that needs doing. And then I can compost the bits that come off. There's the big one there. I hope that you can see. It might be a bit tricky, because I'm doing the higher shelves at the moment. Whew. And then I'm probably going to water. I'll empty the watering cans. I tend to leave the filling of the watering cans with my husband, because I find that they're quite heavy to lift out of the water butt, and it hurts my shoulders, so I tend to leave that job for him, which he happily obliges me with. I used to do it myself, but I found that I always had a sore right shoulder from doing. So now he fills the watering cans in the garden for me as well, which is really appreciated. Golly, this is so hot. Okay, I'm going to be radical with these tomato plants, because they take up a lot of space, and actually they've pretty much finished. So if you have a look at this one, it's got one tomato left. It hasn't got any more tomatoes to come in, so I'm taking it out and it's going. Let me see if I can get it out of the pot. Golly, look at all that root, it's amazing. The problem with my tomato plants is they did dry out. Unfortunately, I can use that pot now for something else. I can put a geranium in it. They dried out a couple of weeks ago, And I just haven't, I think I've basically lost them. So I'm just going to accept that they've died and I'm going to declutter them. Yay, this is turning into a decluttering in the conservatory session, which is needed. The conservatory is looking a bit scruffy. Now it does free up these pots, which I can use for something else. And I can, oh my goodness, this has definitely had it. This was definitely not the right variety, or the pot was too small. It was an experiment, but we didn't get any fruit off that one. Right, golly. I'm going to just say those tomatoes, those 3 tomato plants have had it. I'm being radical. The time is going. I might manage another 5 minutes, I think. Although it's hot in here, I'm actually making some progress because I want to declutter in here. So I think I might move. Mind you, that other tomato plant's doing so well there. Let me have a think. Okay, what could I move up onto this shelf? Actually, that's doing really well down there as well. I could just move some of these along, I think, to begin with. Let's move that along to there. Golly, this isn't looking healthy. Okay, this poor geranium, I think, has died. Oh my goodness, I'm going to take that. I'm going to be radical. There's so much dieback on this geranium. There's more dead than alive. It may make it, it may not. Anyway, I'm just kind of giving that a good hard cut back. I think the problem is this top shelf is very, very sunny. It's not the best place to put plants that are feeling a bit sorry for themselves. Let me see if I can have a move around. Some of the plants definitely cope better with the dry conditions on the top shelf. If you look down here, these white geraniums are in a shadier position. Actually, they're much happier, whereas the ones that are in full sun are quite stressed. So let's see, let's pop you up there. You're nice, healthy looking. Let's have a little move around. Oh, it's amazing what you find when you start rummaging in the conservatory. Where can I put this one? This is like the nursery down here for things that are feeling a bit, that are in little pots or they're a little, need potting up. So, oh, another dead plant. Yeah, that was a mistake putting that there. But you know what? Every so often you have to have a radical declutter in your greenhouse or your conservatory because not everything makes it. And if you have too many plants like we do, then things just end up getting neglected or dying. Some of these plant pots need to go out to my shed. I like to use terracotta in here really, so the plastic pots can go out. Right, okay. Let's have a look at this. This is probably in too much sun up there. Let me just deadhead. So I'm going to deadhead this geranium. This is a really pretty geranium. So I'd want to keep this alive. I don't want to lose this one, but the way things are going, I'm going to lose it. I think that needs potting up. I'm just going to pop it down there for now in the shade because it is not in a very big pot. So I'm going to give it some water. I'm going to water these two. These two always need watering. They're really thirsty plants and they're in full sun. Right. This is like geranium rescue, this is today. Let's pop this one on the top shelf. Oh, golly, I seem to have freed up an area. That's good. So let's get these onto higher up. This is in 2 smaller pots. So the pots that this is really struggling in this little pot. I tend to find geraniums actually prefer being in terracotta to plastic. I don't know why that is. If you know, let me know. But this is not a happy plant, is it? I think this has dried out too much. It's in 2 smaller pots. It's a big plant. So I'm thinking if we pot that up into one of the terracotta pots that the tomatoes were in, I think it'll do much better. And in the meantime, I need to give it a really good water and put it somewhere where it'll get a little less sun. I think the problem is it's getting too much sun. It's drying out on a daily basis and it's outgrown its pot. So I'll pop it there, I think. All right, what else have I got in here? There's all sorts. This looks interesting. I'll give that a water. It's an interesting plant. A lot of the plants don't actually like being in full sun. The geraniums can cope with it as long as they're in a big enough pot. But if they're in 2 smaller pots, they struggle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bigger pots on the top. This one looks good. Hope that's not the kiss of death for it. So the ones that are looking, oh, that's beautiful actually. These I need to be a bit more we've got all our colours mixed up. I think what I need to do is come and have a colour session in here. Because I like the red ones all to be together. I like the pink ones to be together. But actually we're all mixed up and all over the place. This one is looking superly stressed. So I think this needs to go somewhere a bit shadier for a bit. Let's put it down there where it's not getting quite so much sun. And I'll give it some water. Oh, I'm running out of water. You might wonder why I've got duckweed on my top of my water. That's because, let's just give this some water. That is because my water butt has duckweed in it. I didn't put the duckweed in there. I don't know how it got in there. It may have got in on birds' feet. I'm just going to lift this up so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just watering the top shelf. The top shelf is always the thirsty shelf because they're in full sun. The lower shelves have an easier time of it because they're not in full sun. They get a bit of shade from the top shelves. Okay. And this plant I've put down here because this doesn't really like being in full sun. This is a lovely little thing I've propagated. Oh, there's the timer going again. I've done really well. I'm really pleased. 2 lots of 5 minutes in here. Oh my goodness, if you're still with me, well done. I hope you're managing to do something while you're listening or watching. You've got me on in the background maybe. Oh, really, I really didn't feel like doing this today, but I knew it needed doing. It's amazing the power of setting a timer. Right, I think I'm going to go in for 1 more 5 minutes. Okay, here we go. And then I'm going to stop because it is really, really hot in here. I want to try and finish my deadheading, although I'm getting sidetracked by watering, which always needs doing pretty much in this time of year. But I have done some good decluttering in here. I think I may need to declutter some of these chairs into my shed when we finish it, because at this time of year, it's too hot really to sit in here. I can bring them in the autumn, and at this time of year, we've got so many plants that actually it's quite good to have a bit more space. Oh, there, what's gone on in here? I think I've had another casualty. Oh, what's happening there? Oh no, it's still alive, but it's not looking healthy. Right, keep focused, Kate. Keep focused on the deadheading. I'm not sure you can see very much at the moment. I'm just taking the spent heads off because I want this to keep flowering. If I keep doing this, this will keep flowering right through. We have had it flowering in December some years if it's mild, but it'll certainly still be flowering October, November. I also need to deal with my onion crop. We brought these in last weekend, I think, or in the week, to dry them out a bit so they form a hard skin, but they're probably maybe ready now. So we might be able to move them out of here. Right, okay, that's looking not too bad. Oh, I think maybe I have so much more deadheading to do. What have I missed any? There's one I've missed. Right, I think probably, I spotted a few more. Let's bring them over here. I need to tidy up in here because there's so many trip hazards. It's actually getting quite dangerous. This is why I need to declutter. Right, is that a dead plant? No, that's still alive, but it needs to go into the nursery bit. It's barely alive. There's another dead head. And another one. I think they're multiplying. Probably this trug's gonna need emptying again. I only emptied it on Wednesday, I think. Oh, I spotted lots more deadheading. At this time of year, there's with casualties and deadheading, there's lots of debris. Oh. Right, the joys of indoor gardening in a heat wave. Right, oh, I spotted some more up here. I don't know if you can see. I'm just going to go up here and get these, and then I'm going to definitely stop and I'm going to water. Otherwise, this watering isn't going to get done. I'm going to overheat. Right. Oh, unless I leave it to him to water. That's possible. I think I'll take that one off as well. Right. Oh, if I'm not careful, I end up taking too many flowers off, and then it will not have enough flower left. I don't think I'm going to get any more tomatoes off this. This could come out. I think I'm just going to cut it off. Right, okay. Let's get some watering cans going. Those need to be refilled. There's a nice full watering can. Let's start watering. There's an amaryllis there. They'll be lovely at Christmas, or just after Christmas. So I'm watering one of the higher shelves here because these are always the most thirsty. I can't water the top shelves because they're too high for me. I'll have to leave those. I'll hopefully remind my husband to do it later. It's been incredibly hot again. So they are incredibly dry. At this time of year, we're needing to water them 2 or 3 times a week if we don't want to lose everything. Oh, that is so hot. I'm going to water my tomatoes I have had a lovely little crop of tomatoes off this one. This one is still producing fruit, so I'm going to keep this one going. Whew. Okay, where are we going next? I think we'll do this in the middle. This is looking still good, but they are in very small pots. So I do have to water these probably 3 or 4 times a week to keep them looking good. All right, that's actually empty, so that can go in the recycling. That can go. So I'm getting a bit of decluttering done at the same time. I do probably need to buy some more tomato food. Tomato food's really good for feeding geraniums and keeping them flowering. We've been using it for years, very successfully. Right, where am I going next? Oh, I must make sure not to put the tomato food on the tomato plants. I find if you feed them with tomato food at this time of year, it makes the tomatoes taste funny. So earlier in the year we feed them with tomato food, but then once they start to fruit and we start to eat the fruit, we just give them water, and we find that the tomatoes taste far better. Otherwise they do have a funny taste, which I don't like. Right. Oh my goodness, the timer is going. That's 15 minutes. Oh my goodness. It's amazing, isn't it? I really didn't want to do this today. I'll stop the timer. And I've actually worked in this heat in the conservatory for 15 minutes. I'm taking my gloves off. Do you know, I'm just going to sit down for 2 minutes. That does need to go out and be emptied onto the compost heap. I'm going to take the stuff that I've decluttered. Oh, I'm just going to pan back, give you a view. Again, the floor needs a sweep, but I'll probably do that this evening. But it's looking, oh, I've just spotted another dead tomato plant. I think I'll get that before I go. Anyway, I hope that you're enjoying watching my videos and that they're motivating you to do things around your house and garden. Thank you for watching. I hope you're enjoying it. If you are, please like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate it. I'm always happy to answer questions and take feedback. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye for now.